And if we don't?
I'll turn you into accountants!
Accountants?
That is a good one.
It is a legend no one will forget. Everybody thought the Super Show was as bad as a Mario cartoon could be. And then, the sequel attacked. Deke was back! With the zaniest danger ever known, even more animation errors. With their useless Mario trivia, Delfino and Peach will watch every single episode and complete the Supershow Saga.
Anyways, Bryce, tell us about your PlayStation 5 adventures that you just had today.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so basically it was it was reserved for me. Like, it probably shouldn't have been, but it was.
Okay.
But like, basically what happened was, it was like, okay, I need you to get somebody to pick it up and mail it. I'm like, cool, no worries. So I have a friend who you will know as Peachy.
Right.
He lives near the location where it was at. So I was like, hey man, I need you to pick this up for me. Can you do that? It's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, no worries. So we sorted that out. He doesn't have a license, so he had to take the bus. So I paid his fares to get there and whatever. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then I mapped out like the nearest place to the post office for him, so he wouldn't have to deal with it, like holding on to it until he could post it. He could just go from there to the post office and then just go from there. So essentially what happened was he went and picked up this PlayStation. Yep, cool, no worries. I had somebody give him a box. And he's because basically I looked up on the mailing website, they're like, we don't have boxes that fit that. I'm like, cool. So I gave him a box, and he got it. He got an Uber, which, you know, I got for him. He got in the Uber. He went to the post office, and then he was like, a slight problem. He sent me a picture. He's like, it doesn't fit. I'm like, I'm like, great. I'm like, well, that's okay. Just do what I said. I'm like, just buy some bubble wrap
I'm
and
looking at the
just
picture.
Bulging
I'm like,
out.
just I just like buy some bubble wrap and just profusely wrap that
Just
and then put it
tape
in a box
together.
yeah. and then I'm like, I'll just get postage insurance. So I did that, and the postage insurance was fine. It was only like $15. So I'm like, you know what, that if that covers the thing from being damaged, I'm like, that's fine. But holy hell, was it a workaround just to get a PlayStation? I'm like, you know,
I mean, hey, you got one in the end.
better,
I guess you do.
well, in better circumstances, it's like I could have just ordered one online, but people buy that stuff up in minutes. Like if you check stock alert apps, but Twitters, I guess. Yeah. And they'll have it up for a minute and then it'll be gone in a minute because bots are buying them.
Bots?
Because people.
Yep.
Yeah, because people are scalping them, and I mean, I know that's commonplace.
That's why we
but,
can't have nice things like Pokemon cards.
Or amiibos.
No.
I mean,
Exactly.
Pokemon cards we can't have because people fight over them.
It's so dumb.
I feel like we look on disdain for Pokemon cards because we lost our giant billfold with all of them
I
inside.
don't know where it is.
We took it somewhere.
There were so many.
And we don't know where it went.
Including some really nice ones that I bought from Japan.
So help us. We don't know where it went. All my favorite cards were in there. The Ninetales Psychic one. The Diglett looking at the ocean waves. My favorite Meryl card in existence. The one that made me love Meryl.
My original Latias card that made me get into Pokemon.
All those things. Whoosh. Vamos.
Oh, God.
So it's like, do we want to buy more cards? It's you guys got into that habit for a bit. You and Drew and some other House of Mario folks were just
It was around
buying
the
up
time
cards.
the Detective Pikachu movie was coming out. Because those are the ones I still have because that was before I put them in the big binder.
Yeah.
So I still have them sitting around because I didn't get to put them in before I lost the binder.
I guess so. But I'm glad between the Pokemon card binder and the Amiibo card binder, that we did lose the Pokemon card binder.
True.
Because if we lost the amiibo cards, I would still be crying over where Jeremiah and Bruce went.
You almost lost the Jeremiah card.
The
once.
Jeremiah card I used as a bookmark, and I didn't know this for 2
You were
years.
a fool.
Until like 2 years later when I was cleaning
treat
out
it like
books.
gold.
Being like, oh, I don't need this school book anymore. Let's just flip through the pages. And it fell out, and I was like, oh my god.
People used to do that in the library with Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
They'd leave their Yu-Gi-Oh
And
cards.
they'd leave their Yu-Gi-Oh cards in mangas as bookmarks. And I'm like, who bookmarks a manga? You read it in one sitting.
Yeah, they're not that long.
Your
Jesus.
favorite pages, maybe.
So, just to clarify before we go on, do you need me to be recording?
I'm recording with OBS, don't worry.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm just double checking just in case you need backup audio or whatever. No worries.
I've been recording
fine by me.
since the start of the PlayStation story. But yeah,
You know, it's
That's
not
all good.
quite the same, but the PlayStation story reminds me of the other day I went to a Vietnamese restaurant to pick up lunch for everybody. And there was 4 people getting lunch, and so I'm like, I'm here to pick up. And so, like, I'm holding all the bags, and some of it is soup. And so the lady at the counter is like, do you want a box? And at first
God.
I was like, no, that's fine. And then I'm sitting there, and it's like, I can't even, like, hold all this. I'm like, you know, a box would be nice. And so it's just
Yeah,
this
probably
giant
should've took the
cardboard
offer.
box.
although the thing about
God.
consoles being in shortage, we've had the opposite reaction lately. We went to Target because we love Target. We like window shopping at Target. And we went to the video game section, and they had 3 to 4 Animal Crossing Tom Nook
Switches.
Switches. The
What?
Switch. And they had like the Game & Watch Zeldas. They had a good amount of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars games.
They actually had a Switch Lite.
They had a Switch Lite in different colors. They had the aqua and the blue. And they had
They
regular
had copies
Switches.
of Pokemon Snap.
And it's like, is nobody going... This is weird. This Target's popular. Is nobody
Oh my god.
buying video games?
Are we the only nerds in our area?
We need hot single nerds in our area.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Where are they?
I mean, look at it from this perspective at the very least, right?
Yeah.
At least you're getting the stock, right?
Yeah. It's
Um,
not like...
when
It
it
is
w-
tempting me to get another Switch.
We might just buy that Animal Crossing Switch.
Well, not the Animal Crossing one.
Well-
I've been thinking about a Lite.
You've been thinking about the light?
I could take it to
Oh,
work.
and they had like 5 copies of Ring Fit Adventure. It's like, what the heck?
Oh my god.
I was hunting
incredible.
madly for Ring Fit earlier.
Yeah.
Remind us to never
I mean, most
disclose
stores
the
I
location
went
of
to.
our Target.
Yes. Our Target,
Yeah,
it's an
probably a good idea.
incorporeal realm. You can only get there by watching the Mario show and going through the
Oh my
warp
God.
pipe when working on the
Yeah,
drain.
you
That's
ha-
how we got to the Target.
Yeah, you have to give the princess a hand in the Mushroom Land.
Yeah. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah. You got to take her to a Millie Vanilli concert.
You've got to be a big stan of Millie
gotta-
Vanilli.
You gotta blame it on the rain.
Blame it
Oh my
on
God.
Sky. Ooh, yeah.
Jesus.
Had you ever heard of Millie Vanilli before watching this episode?
You know what? No, but the songs sound familiar, and that's the worst part about it. Because like
It's a song that
I've
lives
seen.
in infamy.
Really? Blame it on the rain does?
Yes.
Blame it on-
I've seen this episode in the past,
Yes.
like without any questionable doubt. I've definitely seen it. So it was
Did you
like
see
it
the
was really
original,
strange.
Or did you see the
I'm pretty sure it was the,
the
censored
edited
cut.
version?
I call it
Yeah, it would have been the censored one.
Yeah,
Probably.
if it was on DVD, it was definitely the censored cut. Because
No, it was on TV actually.
TV?
Like here's the thing. Here's the thing with this show, right?
Yeah.
It popped up in the weirdest places in Australia. Like every now and then it would just randomly pop up on
I don't
TV.
get
And it was
that.
the same with the live action Mario Bros movie. Like that would just pop up on TV for no reason. Like
now.
all of a
me
sudden it'd
spell
just be
that
like,
out.
Mario in the afternoon.
days
I'm
of
like,
Team
oh, very
Disney.
cool.
Or they just air
Oh, yeah.
anything in their catalog.
Like, I would randomly
Uh-huh.
like see an episode of Goof Troop, and like in the 2000s.
they just
And
air
I was
anything.
just like, what is this show? Because like I knew
did
what
that
Goof
here
Troop
too.
was vaguely because of that. They never did like DuckTales or anything.
Not super
that
old.
far.
They never did.
I don't think
Alice.
they ever did Quack Pack, because I'm pretty sure after Quack Pack aired, they tried their hardest to forget that Quack Pack existed.
What's a quack pack? We don't know. Although that just makes me think of how here Cartoon Network would just be like, Iron Giant, it's on TV for 24 hours.
Uh-huh.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. Just watch it over and over.
I mean,
There
they
are
do
no
that here
Thanksgiving
too.
movies. Only Iron Giant.
Only Iron Giant.
Cartoon Network had like they were like very prominent on having the marathon days, like no matter what, right?
That's how-
And that was the same case here, but like in terms of like Toonami, for example, which was aired on Cartoon Network here, I'm not sure if it was over there.
Yeah, it was too. It used to be an afternoon block, and now it's a midnight block. For
It was a midnight
all
block
those
here.
adults. It was always the midnight block.
Yeah, it's always been the midnight block, and the only thing that ever show 100% is anime. Like, and they treated it as if it was like some sort of taboo almost that they showed it in the midnight block. It was really strange. It was
We
like,
get
we're gonna
to
stick
watch.
Dragon Ball Z here, and then it was like
So
basically the only two anime we would show in the middle of the day was like fucking Beyblade or Pokemon or
Nice.
you know
Back when
that
I
was the
used
only
to-
thing. But like Naruto and stuff was all midnight. It was weird.
You gotta stay up late.
Back when I used to work at a restaurant that closed at midnight, on Saturday nights, if I was the one closing, I would switch all the TVs to Toonami. And so my
Perfect.
boss would figure it out the next day when we were watching Cartoon Network in the middle of the day, like, you changed all the channels again, didn't you? And I'm like, I guess that happened. I guess we're watching Teen Titans Go now.
Forever and ever and all time. Everyone.
So this is how I know I'm getting old, right? Is like I do the same thing at work right now, except I do it with the news. No. I'm like, okay, what's happening with coronavirus today? Like,
gotta know.
Fun.
I don't know. It's just at work. They're like, we want to watch golf all the time, and I'm like, that's so boring. Can't we watch something fun?
Yeah.
Not the
There's
I
only
understand
Christmas. I want to watch Christmas movies.
The only fun golf is Mario Golf.
Exactly.
I played that
That's
with
true.
I played that with my dad last night. He was like, I want to golf.
I like
So-
how Dad's really into the golf game.
He always plays as Yoshi, so I need to pick up some more Yoshi colors for him in the ranked mode. But he got a chip in, and he was like, oh! He was very excited. He was like, I've never seen a chip in. I'm like, I've done 1 or 2 chip-ins in my time, too.
You'd have one where you hit the ball and it hit the flag and went straight
Yeah,
in.
it was when Daisy, I put
Yeah.
that highlight on Twitter. It's when Daisy went,
You
whatever, and then it hit the flag and chipped in, and I was like, oh my god! And there was once, I think it was when we were golfing together, and I had just gotten the game. It had just come into my house. And I like ripped out the package, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play golf. I don't know how to play golf, but we're gonna play golf. And it's gonna be fun. And I got a chip in there, and I was like, oh my gosh! I was playing as Daisy.
I
That
am
was
the
fun.
opposite, where I am the one who will miss the hole when I'm like 6 inches away from it like 3 times.
Get that triple bogey.
Get a triple bogey just because I can't putt.
Putting is the hardest part of golf.
I do love putting though.
Oh
I
yeah.
just like putt.
It's the-
Okay.
I mean, mini golf is fun in that it's a small frame. Mm-hmm. But dang it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have a more of a like a streamlined experience with mini golf, whereas like
Yeah.
with actual golf, you feel the tension of like screwing up that putt, because if you nudge it just that bit too much, like it could end over the other side of the green if you're on a slope, and you're like,
Also, the
Now
more
I
you
have to
mess up,
putt
the more you
uphill.
have to walk.
Well, that's in speed golf.
And I mean, who wants to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, in real
Well.
life, you gotta walk everywhere.
You get that golf cart. Vroom, vroom. They make golf carts just for this exact scenario. You don't have to walk.
I don't know. I'd feel like I'd look like Trump on a golf cart, so I'll pass on that.
You'd look like a cheeky bastard.
With my MAGA hat on, we'll go with that.
You look like a Daffy. A Daffy bastard. I never swear. This is crazy.
People don't use the word Daffy enough.
Oh,
I was thinking that while watching Looney Tunes.
watching Daffy Duck.
It's such a great name. It's like nobody says Daffy anymore.
They say
I
more punching
I was
things.
listening to the Every Little Thing podcast about old swear words.
Oh my gosh.
And so apparently back in the 1600s, words that were considered religious slurs were gadzooks, zounds, and snails.
Snails!
Gadzooks was literally slur.
Yeah, apparently it's short for God's hooks or something.
God's hooks.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then snails
yeah.
is short for like God's nails. And then zounds, I forget what zounds was.
Sounding out.
I don't know, but
Sound
there were
outs.
things that you should not say outside of a religious setting.
That just makes me think of that one medieval painting of the snails attacking people.
I thought you were going to say the shimmied.
But also, it was that in the old time, the first got 'em type meme is that you'd slip into stuff is snails. You'd put snails in things, and people would be like, "Gadzooks."
Maybe it was because of the whole religious aspect. The whole idea of a snail was taboo.
It feels like
Oh my
female
God.
dogs being taboo. It's like they're not, but when people refer to
Well,
them
it's just
as
like how the
such.
Bible talks about asses all the time.
Yes.
Jesus came on a young ass.
I think wasn't that a Jeopardy
Oh, no,
question
that's
once?
terrible.
That it was
That's
like a
right.
mule, also known as this animal, and they made them say
And they said it, and then Alex Trebek goes, ooh.
That just makes
Oh,
me think
God
of
bless his soul.
this slur for a certain type of prostitute, and Ken Jennings buzzed in is like, "What is a hoe?"
And he
No.
goes, no! Oh!
Oh, the correct answer was rake, but honestly, I feel
I
like
think they should have taken home.
they should have taken hoe. It's a garden
They should
tool,
have.
and it's a slur for prostitutes. We called a
a
hoe.
woman of ill repute.
Anyways, this is the Supershow Saga.
Or we're gonna be talking about hoes.
We talk about
We love our
snails and hoes.
We love our lawn instruments.
We talk about snails.
Personally, I prefer slugs to snails. But that's
I
just
mean,
me.
I prefer worms most of all. I always want to talk about worms.
Oh, we're not talking about worms. We're talking about Millie Vanilli.
Yeah, we're singing about Millie Vanilli, not worms.
Oh, God.
You know they have a lot in common.
How so, Peach?
Oh, Millie Vanilli.
Okay, so
We should probably start with some
I
context.
am Delfino Durians.
We probably should.
I'm Peach Supreme,
And our special guest star is Bryce Dewit from the legendary 120 Power Star rated House of Mario.
200 episodes, by the way. Thank you for having me.
200 episodes. I'm very
Were
behind.
you the one
Yeah.
who did the Toad voice?
No, that was Wacko Jacko.
Oh, okay.
That was another a housemate.
Yeah.
I still have not.
Yeah.
I really liked that Toad voice.
I never listened to podcasts.
A podcast?
What's that? It was so funny.
He's really good at it. Like,
He is.
both of you were very, very, very good at
Thank
it.
you.
But like, it was weird when we met him because like at the time, like he was like very professional Splatoon. Like he was like
Ooh.
really, really, really heavily into it. So Drew had him on the show, and then after that, like he just stayed, and we're like, cool.
just hung around.
So
You couldn't get
yeah,
rid
he
of
just
him.
hung around, and it's been great ever since because he pretty actively jumps in on the streams and stuff like that because he's up at the right time
Yeah.
and all that. Overall, he's been a fantastic part of the community. So much as everyone has been, obviously.
Thank you.
And I mean, look, I'm really glad at like what we've got in terms of community,
I
and
am
especially
too.
since like. I can be on shows like this and talk about a dumb early 90s cartoon, which is
Stupid things.
fantastic.
You're
And old-timey
I love
swear
it.
words.
Oh,
snails.
yeah.
Get them. That reminds me.
Gadzooks.
We'll be getting Drew on, but I do want to get Metadocs on too. We are
Uh-huh.
Shin Megami Tensei allies Meta cannot stop talking about Persona 4.
I'll just sit over here and
I'm like, shut up about Persona 4. We need to talk about Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse.
I'll think about Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
I mean, I also love Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Most of all. Anyway.
I love doing the Toad voice, but I feel like whenever I have to do like a long sentence, it starts turning into a Huey voice.
It starts turning into this. Jeez, Uncle Donald. What are we gonna do today?
It also doesn't help that you are a big DuckTales fan.
I wouldn't say I'm a big
You're a big
DuckTales
Donald
fan.
Duck fan.
I'm a big Donald Duck fan. I love Donald.
You have Three Caballeros.
Three Caballeros is my life.
Do you have
They
any?
need to make more merch of Panchito and Jose.
I thought it was Jose. Is it Jose?
Well,
If
you're saying it with a Spanish accent,
it's Jose.
it's Jose.
you say
But
it with
if
a
you say it with a
Portuguese?
Portuguese accent, it's Jose.
Ooh. Learning things about Brazilian culture.
Yeah, Portuguese is weird. Like, you see it written out and you're like, oh, it's not that much different from Spanish. But then, like, you hear someone speak it and it's like, oh, because in Spanish to say good day, it's buenos dias. But then in Portuguese, it's bom dia.
Bom dia. I was going to say it was Buenos Aires. Is that goodbye?
I just always make Buenos Aires?
Yeah, Buenos Aires.
That's the capital of Argentina.
I'm trying to trick you.
It just reminds me of when we were watching the Rio Olympics with Mom.
Yeah.
And they were saying the announcements over the intercom in Portuguese. And she's like, what are they saying? And I'm like, Mom, I speak Spanish.
I can't translate for you.
I don't know what they're saying.
Well, honestly, that just makes me think of Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympics game. I love that game, by the way.
Oh, God.
I still need to buy Tokyo's game, but we have not. But the parade song, Canción de Festival, it's like my favorite song. They sing in Portuguese. It's got the beat.
Oh, song is just amazing.
So, Bryce, do you have any Disney movies that you consider to be your favorites, or do you just have to watch them because your daughter does too?
No, actually, like the thing is I had to deal with it a lot with my sister, so it was sort of like I had to watch a lot of Disney anyway. But like these days, I actually think I prefer some of the other stuff that comes out of Disney these days as opposed to the stuff that used to come out.
Okay.
So like Moana, for example, I think Moana's a friggin' fantastic movie.
We were just talking about Moana. Make way, make way.
Make
You're breaking the
way,
immersion of the
Moana.
podcast.
I know. Talking about the We Know Our Way song. Oh, wow, way.
Mm-hmm.
It's that one.
It's such a good movie.
I
Everything
think-
about that movie is just awesome.
I mean, it's an awesome movie. I think mostly
Oh my
because the
God.
two directors who directed it were the Aladdin and Hercules directors, and also Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Like, no one likes to talk
I
about
really
Treasure
love-
Planet, but it's like they know what they're
God.
doing, and it's. My English teacher had to watch that movie 1,000,000 times for his daughter, and he's grown to also love it because he's like, it's an odyssey. They travel the globe. You know, you have the power of the ocean at your disposal.
It's my friend's favorite movie. Literally
Ever?
every time, yeah.
Oh.
Every time we say thank you, we go, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
It was like that. There was that super wholesome clip that came out the other day of like a guy that was working with the Rock for whatever reason, and he's like, oh, I'm a big fan, and he's like, oh, for real? He's like, oh yeah, you know, we're our family's a really big fan of Maui, and they're like, oh, he's like, wow, okay, so tell me about that a bit, and he's like, oh, well, I will sing "You're Welcome" every time they go to bed. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, how, do you know the rap part? He's like, yeah, I do. So he's like, here, give me your phone. And he took a recording with him and he did the rap with him. And then
my God.
he took that home to his kids because he was like, I'm meeting Maui tomorrow. The Rock grabs the phone and he's like,
That's so
yeah, the Rock grabs the phone and he's like, hey kids, it's me, Maui. I know I don't look like Maui, but I am Maui. I'm the guy that does the voice. Yeah. And then he's like, come. He's like, I've got your dad here. We're gonna do a little thing for you. And then they sung the whole rap The whole rap portion.
Together.
Like, 1-to-1 did it really well. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was a really, really wholesome clip.
Oh,
That's adorable.
that is
Man, between The Rock and John Cena, they're like the modern Captain Lou.
they are truly meme material, but they know it and they do good things with it.
He's becoming a really good actor, by the way.
You
John
think
Cena.
so? John Cena?
Yeah, absolutely.
I loved him
He
in
was
Birdman.
really, really good in the new Suicide Squad.
Oh,
He was really, really, really
he's
good.
in the new Suicide Squad?
Is he the shark?
Yeah, he is.
What?
No, he's.
I'm just throwing out
He's-
guesses.
My foot's asleep.
I can't remember the character's name now, but he's like the guy that's all about justice. So like,
Cable?
he's like always.
Cable.
I can't remember his
Cable's
name.
Marvel.
I'll have to Google it.
Sorry.
No. I'll have to Google it. I'll Google it while I'm sort of talking about it. But he did a super awesome job in that movie, and like John Cena for so long was just a meme. Like he wasn't sort of anything more than that. So
You
this
gotta
kind of like
I mean, he was the best part of that stupid Fred movie.
I thought the best part of that movie was when he dug the hole.
Oh, that part was
Into the
also
ground.
funny, but
It's that he's trying to dig a hole into the center of the earth. So he starts digging a hole. And in reality, he's just digged a hole into the next door neighbor's yard. But the next door neighbors are, by coincidence, Asian American. And he's like, I dug to China! And he starts digging back into the hole. And it's like, this is the kind of joke you could only get in America. Where the polar opposite of the world is, in fact, China. Oops.
so John Cena was Peacemaker.
He was Peacemaker.
Okay.
Pacemaker?
Yeah.
no.
No,
I'm
Peacemaker. He's essentially the same. He's essentially the same as Bloodsport. So that was played by Idris Elba.
Okay.
He's essentially the same as Bloodsport, but whereas Bloodsport was like a hitman, Peacemaker is like he's always
freelance.
fighting for justice.
Is he like
So-
Daredevil?
Well, no, because that's essentially what happened. Is that's how he became a bad guy? Is because as long as he thought it was just,
He would
that
do
is
things.
100%. He would do things, and like
am I
no
thinking
matter
of
what, like you
that
couldn't
always
change his
screams
mind.
Justice before they hit someone.
Shoot, what's her name from Overwatch? Justice reigns
No,
from above.
That's not it.
That Farah.
Yeah, fair. Is it a hammer?
I don't know.
Hammer Justice?
I'm never gonna remember it.
Is it from Fire Emblem?
It might be from Fire Emblem.
Is it from...
While we're talking, I'm playing Fire Emblem.
You're playing Fire Emblem Heroes. Are you much into Fae, Bryce?
Sorry.
Are you much into Fae?
Fire Emblem Heroes, the mobile game.
Oh right. Yeah.
I'm terrible at normal
I
Fire
used to
Emblem.
be.
You used to be...
Here's the thing: is like, Heroes was my thing for a while. Like because to be honest, like the minute storytelling that they have is great, but the problem is that it comes out far too slow for me. So I'm kind of like, I'll put it down for a bit, pick it back up, do a bunch of it,
There's a lot to
drop
do
it,
catch up down.
and then come back to it. Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, is playing catch up is more interesting because like I've already got a bunch of stamina stocked anyway, so I don't really have a problem with it.
Oh, me too.
Every now and then,
So much stamina.
I'll look at like whatever banners coming out, and I'll be like, all right, I'll log into roll and then check how much story content there is now. And if there's not enough, I'll just roll and log back off. But if there is a fair bit there, I'll be like, all right, cool. I can just roll story content, collect a bunch of orbs, and roll.
And keep going.
That's like the best way to do it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I play it pretty consistently. I ebb and flow in gacha games. I'm on my way out of Fae, but I am really liking this book 5 a lot. His current banner for pirates. I was like, dang it, I won every single one of these people. Got Naysala. I was like, I'll just have to stop here because I'm good. But they are making improvements to the game. Like, the legacy heroes is much needed, because the last thing you want happen is you're going for newer heroes with better skills and you get pity broken by somebody from the first year. It's like, this is trash.
Yeah.
So pretty much people from year 2 and below are in a legacy poll, where if you pull them, they won't break your record, but they're still 5 stars. So they're just, it's more swag to get. It's great.
I mean, there's still plenty of year 1 people I don't have. I still don't have an original Lucina.
I don't think I do either.
Or an original Lynn. And it's like, those were the big ones.
I've got
Like,
an
when
original
you
Lynn.
summon them, they had a special animation.
They
don't
dropped
do
it.
that
They
anymore.
dropped the
They dropped
animation
that
pretty
quick.
fast. They're like, we can't keep this.
I'm so annoyed by that. Like, I got Lynn on my first 10 pull when the game came out. And I was like, whoa, that's dope. I'm like, that's really cool. And then every 5-star after that, like, I mean, I got a couple of more of the special ones for like Roy and stuff like that. But after that, it just went bland. And I'm like, yeah.
My
that was
first
fun.
one was Camilla, and it kickstarted my love for Camilla.
Oh, God.
I want Camilla to have
I
an alt
feel
for
like-
every occasion.
Our love for Camilla is not who she is, but who we imagine her to be. It's like, what are you talking
right.
about? Camilla is the best older sister you could ever ask for. It's like, you play the game and it's like, she's not. But, you know, if we just...
But she's so funny, though.
She's just funny.
It's funny because it's a contrary opinion to what most people think about Fire Emblem Heroes. Personally, I don't really care if she gets a million alts, but like,
I think it's
the amount of
incredibly
people that
funny.
At
complain
first I
about
was
Camilla
annoyed, but
alts.
I think it has come full circle, and I'm like, yes, she has 7.5 alts. I'm counting the Hinaka as a
Where's
half.
my Christmas Camilla?
I want a Christmas, I want fall, I want ninjas, I want Valentine's. Give it to me. Come on. Let's get it going.
Where's my Halloween Camilla?
What?
Take my
She
bank.
would dress up as Morgan from Darkstalkers.
Oh my goodness, that's perfect.
Now
my
I have
God.
to draw that.
Well, you have many things to draw. Speaking of drawing things, Bryce, you never posted those pictures your daughter drew of Miku. I want to see those so bad.
Oh God. I've got them. I've got them around. I will post them at some point.
Okay.
They're definitely around. She draws every day, like
Aw.
without fail. She's like really growing into her own sort of art style. She drew something tonight while we're at dinner. And I'm like, damn, that is coming up really good. Probably a lot better than what I could manage freestyle when I was her age. Because like I draw, sure, but I put it down for a very long time because I just got that invested in, like, especially around the time that I got a job, because I was playing a hell of a lot more video games.
Yeah,
Right?
you have to pick a hobby.
When I started drawing,
yeah,
I started
kinda.
with drawing Hamtaro OCs. I was very
Perfect.
proud of them.
Fair.
I mean, I love Hamtaro, so I'm good with that.
Hamotaro.
Okay,
Okay, we are getting so off topic. I do not know how long we've been recording. Of 30 minutes?
Wow.
We're here on the Supershow Saga to talk about probably the most infamous. Would you call it the most infamous episode of the?
Probably. It's the one when
Most-
you think about Mario 3, it's the one most people gravitate to.
Yeah,
Just because of the controversy.
it's full of It's got caught in the controversy. I mean, the one that
I will
everyone will
say-
say is the most controversial is True Colors. Which,
Oh yeah, we'll get
no,
to that one.
We'll get to
eventually,
that
but
one.
No.
No, it's not.
Out of all the episodes, I would say I'd rank it number 5 in my top 10.
It's pretty fun.
It's a pretty great episode,
It's
even
so
with all
random.
the weird stuff.
It's very random, but I feel like at this point we're just kind of used to it.
When you watch the whole series, it's like, yeah, this was pretty good.
Yeah, compared to the
Yeah, you know
others.
that's absolutely fair.
Yeah,
So I guess we should give some history about Millie Vanilli before we start.
So at the time, which was 1989, that's when this show came out.
in 1990.
I thought it was 89.
I thought 89 was the original Super Show.
Yeah, you're right. It was 1990. Okay.
So, Milli Vanilli was a band that lasted from 1988 to 1990.
2 years.
So it was enough so that this show was like, oh, they're popular, we should get them on the show. And they're like, yeah, okay. So they made this episode, it came out, and then like a month or so later, it got revealed that Millie Vanilli were lip syncing.
Yeah, of course
And
they
so
were.
they immediately had to pull the episode from rotation and edit it. And it's just like, when you look at the history of Millie Vanilli, it's just a crazy roller coaster. They tried to have a resurgence in 1997 for a year.
The resurgence was for the actual bandmates. It was like...
One of them died of overdose like 10 years later.
And last year, one died from COVID relations.
It's insane.
They're both dead. Also, speaking of
I
people...
brought that up.
Also, speaking of people who have passed away, this is very recent for when we're recording this. Bryce, did you hear the news about one of the Mario 3 voice actors?
No.
Mario's voice actor, Walker Boone, just passed away. Like 2
Oh
days
my
ago.
god, no.
Yeah.
Tony Rosato
Oh.
passed away a few years ago.
Yeah,
He's Luigi.
Yeah, it was before the Mama Luigi, and so did Harvey Atkins.
Yeah, Harvey Atkins was around the same time. He's
Yeah.
Koopa.
But can you look up what were the complications for Walker Boone?
I don't know. He was old.
They are old, but
Most of them were.
yeah.
So we still have John Stalker and it's
Tracy Moore
is Princess Peach.
Yeah, OG Sailor Moon. Yeah, Walker Boone. It was like, dang! What? He passed away in January?
Oh, we just found out.
What?
This is insane. He was 76.
Okay.
Oh,
It
made
wasn't
public
made public until
I
yesterday.
see.
He was a teacher?
I mean, his big thing was that he was in Star Trek.
What the heck? He's been
Do the voice, do the voice. No, we're here to learn.
No way. What the heck? They only just revealed it.
Oh, they're still talking about the Mario movie.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, and there's Mario movie news.
There is.
Well, it was the
Oh my
Form and
God,
Spike
really?
news. It's that somebody had revealed that they were the voice actor.
For a character named Spike. And so it could either mean Foreman Spike from the original Wrecking Crew, the Spike enemy, or
My favorite theory.
or this whole movie is a retelling of the original Super Mario Bros. Film, which had a character named Spike.
I'm really hoping for that last theory.
That would be insane if we remade the original Mario movie but made it actually look like a Mario movie. I've seen people draw images like that.
They've played us all for chumps.
You know, it wouldn't be terrible.
It would
And if it was animated, we wouldn't have to work in a sweatshop.
have coffee poured down our backs and terrible directors.
Oh my god.
God,
Go
that would
through.
be an insane reanimated project if someone reanimated the entire Super Mario Bros.
I feel
movie.
like that's too much.
It's too much.
People
I mean,
already
good luck
struggle
to
with 30-minute episodes.
It's true.
There's no way you can get people to do. Well, there was
I
the
mean,
Shrek retold.
There was Shrek
But
and
that had-
Star Wars.
There was Star Wars?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay, so basically Milli Vanilli, they were very popular. They were like the new boy band. They were very cool, very foreign, because they're from France and Germany. So they had very thick accents, and they really played it up. But it turns out the two guys were just really hot actors, and that there was a real band behind them. And so the real band had a career for a little bit, but then they weren't popular because they weren't hot. And it was like, well, darn. I guess it's true.
So
Ouch.
This episode just exists within
It's
a
a
weird
time
bubble.
capsule.
It's a weird time
It's
capsule
like
of an
Space
episode.
Jam, which takes place when Michael Jordan wanted to do baseball. This is when Millie
I will be
Vanilli
mentioning Space Jam at one point while we're talking about
is a
this, but-
thing. To the point.
Actually, it's here at the beginning, so we might as well just
Okay.
get into the episode.
Okay, so we will start.
Oh, we should also mention that we have all watched the restored version
Yes.
and
Yes.
not the DVD cut.
Because the DVD cut is like, even though we can't remove Milli Vanilli, we can take out their music because we don't want to pay
their
licenses. And the jokes relating to their music, and it's all screened out and replaced with Captain N music.
Oh, mega move.
Aw.
It's really funny because the song they picked has no lyrics, so it's just Milli Vanilli like mouthing to
They were lip syncing this whole time. They were total hacks.
Alrighty.
So the episode was written by two people, Martin Moran and Phil Harnage. We've seen Martha Moran before. She's written Plumber's Academy and The Super Show, and she's written Never Koopa Koopa, Dadzilla, and Tag Team Trouble. The pattern I've seen with her episodes is kids
They have to do with the
acting
real
out.
world.
Well, it's the real world and kids acting out. Like, Cheatsy's on his Walkman.
Oh my God,
Dadzilla's
Cheatsy.
about rejecting the dad.
Oh, we're gonna get into Cheatsy this
Oh my
episode.
goodness. Tag Team Trouble doesn't really have it. But Phil Harnage is a true legend for the Super Show Mario show because he wrote a ton for the Super Show. He wrote Butch Mario and Luigi Kid.
God, he wrote some of the best
Count
episodes.
Cupula.
He wrote Toad Warriors.
Toad Warriors, The Pied Koopa, Koopenstein, Escape from Koopatraz, and the best reference of all, Star Koopa.
Which one?
Star Wars.
Star Koopas.
Star Koopa.
They do a bunch of Star Wars jokes,
And in the future,
Okay.
he writes Mama Luigi.
which is the magnum opus of the entire series.
The magnum opus.
Yeah, we all know that. Yeah.
He's truly a legend. He had an interview. I couldn't find the original article, but a quote was taken from it, which is like, I never knew there was a cult behind Mama Luigi. It's like learning that everybody loves you without even knowing that they do. I didn't know people liked Mama Luigi. I just wrote it off and moved on with my life.
That's Mama Luigi to you. Damn.
Alright, so we're starting out. It's nighttime in the Mushroom Kingdom, and Chi-Chi is crawling up the castle on the very convenient trellis that leads to the dressing room.
Yes, very, very convenient.
It's very good for peeping in on people changing their clothes.
Ruh-roh, Giorgio. So, he's got this weird look on he's got this pleasured look on his face
Oh my
when he's
God.
staring at Mario.
Watching Mario put on his girdle.
So awkward.
And you know, I didn't think about it till I was making notes, but I'm like, have we ever seen Princess Toadstool's castle in this show?
Yes, we have. I'm remembering it. It was in the Princess Toadstool. It was in the Rainstorm episode.
Okay.
And it was in a previous one.
Because normally when we're talking to everybody,
we're at
they're
Toad's
at
house.
Toad's house.
No, we're picking up the
I
princess.
said
Yeah.
it made me think of Space Jam, how in the original Space Jam, Michael Jordan just has a regular old house. And
He's
it's just
a
like,
normal American
he
citizen.
just lives in the suburbs. And it's like in the new Space Jam, they're like, yeah, everybody knows that
LeBron James
LeBron
has a
James lives in a
mansion.
mansion, okay?
Michael Jordan, that was his dog's house in the suburbs. That was not his house.
That explains why the dog was everywhere.
It was the dog's house.
Uh,
It's that kind of thing. So, Toad's trying to fit Mario into this
He's gotta
show.
pull in the pasta, Mario.
that line, I have to steal that line.
Pasta Mario.
I have to steal that line. That's
I
too
quote
perfect.
it so much.
Gotta pull in that pasta.
Pull in your pasta.
pull in
I
the
love
pasta.
Luigi's line where he's like, why do we have to wear these dumb penguin suits?
Dumb
It
pig.
just makes me think of how there's actually a penguin suit power up in Mario now.
Oh, well, they're not
Yeah.
dumb there.
They're adorable.
useful. But here they're very dumb. But Toad's like, we really need to dress up for this live concert. And then,
I like the color schemes of their outfits.
how Luigi has the green and pink.
Green and pink. Oh, Toad looks really nice.
It's because he's wearing a
He
shirt.
dresses up well. Is he wearing a shirt?
I mean, he's wearing the suit, so he ought to be wearing
Finally, a shirt.
Finally.
He tucked his diaper in nice.
I gotta think about Toad's diaper. So Toadstool's like, okay, guys, I'm ready. And she's wearing the most 90s thing you could possibly think of. Ripped
Pink jeans,
colored
a
high
baggy
boots,
sweatshirt.
a baggy sweatshirt with Millie Vanilli written on it.
God, it's making
It
me
hurts
think
me
of
physically to
those
look
Skechers
at.
commercials I keep saying
I don't know.
about
I
90s fashion.
I find it's dated, but I find it fun.
Yeah, it is nice to see
Like,
Peach
if
in
people
other outfits.
redrew, like, because she's always in dresses. It's fun to see her just wearing, like, rompers, baggy jeans, outfits.
She's like, I'm hip with the kids.
I know what's cool, yo. Radical.
I'm like Mario and Luigi.
Totally rad.
It
They're stuck in the 1920s.
It would not be so much of
You're
a problem if it didn't look how my mother looked in old photos posing with me or whatever. Right?
That just reminds me.
That is the biggest problem.
That just reminds me of the few times I'll grab pictures of our mom
With her
near her
perm.
wedding. Yeah, in high school, and she has a perm. We're like, Mom, what is this perm? This is wrong.
She's like, it was cool.
It was fun. It's like, sure, Mom. Or it's like Dad when he looks like Jim Henson. He did. Dad looked like Jim Henson. He was not Jim Henson, but he looked like
Anyway,
him.
I guess they don't have concerts in the Mushroom Kingdom because Toad
Yeah.
is like, I
don't understand.
I don't really understand this all.
I feel like Toad's just playing us all for fools by saying he doesn't understand Earth fashion.
Did Toad even go to the concert?
I thought he did.
I didn't see him in the crowd. Maybe
You
he was
think
too
so?
short.
No,
They
no.
wouldn't
He
let
was
him in.
there. He was there for very, very briefly.
It was, I guess,
Um,
fleeting. He's too short. We couldn't see him. They didn't hold him up so he could see, like, in that
No,
one
yeah.
book about the cripple kid and the really big guy.
Everybody put their drinks on his head because they thought he was a coaster.
The thing that gets me with this line,
because he squeaked when you sat on him. Oh, what'd you say?
the thing that gets me with the line though, in that he doesn't really know these real world customs,
Yeah.
is he says it with the intention as if like going to a music concert in the Mushroom Kingdom meant they all had to wear tuxedos no matter what genre it was.
Maybe they only have.
So they could just be like
classical music.
moshing out.
They only have
Moshing out
classical
to
music
tuxedo-
in
in
the Mushroom
tuxedo.
When you really want to mosh, yo,
No.
that's when the pasta comes out.
You gotta let your pasta loose a bit.
Let it run free.
Let the belt go.
So anyway, Peach doesn't care about their outfits because she's like, we're going to a concert. Nobody's gonna be looking at you, Mario.
They're all looking at Millie Vanilli, not you two losers. so Chi-Chi's like, ooh, I wonder what Kootie Pie's gonna think. And there's a very slow crawl back.
Oh my
and
god. They zoom out. They gotta watch them crawl. They gotta pan to the shot. It's like, wow.
We're
really
really
hyping
buying
this up.
time. And we get back, and Kootie Pie
So,
is just...
I don't know what Chi-Chi's plan is in this episode. His plan is
I
just
think
to
he's
poke
to
the
cause
bear.
trouble.
He just wants to cause trouble because it's like he hears that Peach is going to this concert and he's like, oh my
Ooh,
god, let me tell
Cootie's
Kootie
gonna be
Pie
so jelly.
so that she can bug our dad to death.
Just torture Dad.
Torture dad.
So Kootie Pie is throwing an absolute fit.
She's throwing things at the windows, which I didn't even know what they had windows in the castle.
Maybe they're
probably because they're
constantly
constantly
repaired.
broken. I mean, why would you even bother to repair them if they were just gonna?
It's
throw
all
stuff out of
about
them?
opulence, you know. You gotta put up the pose of a pristine castle. You just gotta keep it up. So Kootie Pie is just throwing things, and Koopa keeps dodging, and she throws the entire throne,
It just smashes into a billion
and it
pieces.
crashes into a bunch of pieces. Then Koopa crashes into like a knight,
A knight.
a knight
suit of
armor.
armor.
Suit of armor, yes. So Cootie is like, don't try to get on my good side, because Koopa's trying to butter her up and be like, oh, my precious love. And Cheatsy goes, what good side?
And I'm like, Cheatsy, you really shouldn't say those things while you're standing right next to her and
But
her
she
fist.
doesn't even mind.
Yeah, she's not listening to Cheatsy. She's zeroed in on her dad.
Yeah, I want to see Millie Vanilli. Ah! So eventually he's like, yes, baby cakes, not only can you see Silly the Willies, Millie Vanilli,
I love that joke.
you get to keep,
It's such a dad joke.
but you get to keep Billy Vanilli all to
Billy
yourself.
Billy Vanilli.
Billy Vanilli.
Look,
He's like, I don't know this.
I'm
No.
You were
really
like,
physically restraining myself from becoming that dad that does that. Like,
I think it's just
I really don't want to get to 40 and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to pull out the silly the Willy's mistakes.
I think
I don't want to do it.
I mean, it's one of those things that most every dad can relate to. There was a Morgan RX comic recently.
Oh my gosh.
It's a comic that runs in America, and it's been running since like the 1940s. And one of the recent comics is about the dad wanting to do something with his daughter. He's like, why don't we go see the Roxy's or something? And she's like, I don't like that. I want to watch anime, Dad. Can we get Crunchyroll? And it's like, yeah, I already do a double take because she said Crunchyroll. And he's like, is that a sushi? Is that food? And she's like, no, I want to watch Kira Kira Precure a la mode. And he's like, you want an a la mode ice cream?
And all 10 of the Precure fans in America were like, what? What?
And one of them emailed the author, the
And he's
writer,
like,
to be like, where'd you get these names? Did you just pull them out of a hat? And he goes, my 9-year-old daughter, she just loves Kira Kira.
And I'm like, she's got the best taste. That show's great.
10 out of 10. Bryce, get your daughter to watch Kira Kira. Precure
It's so
mode. It's so
If
fun.
she likes Miku.
If she likes Miku, she'll take very well to Precure. It is.
Look, she's huge on Sailor Moon right now.
They get her
like
to watch
massive on Sailor
Precure.
Moon.
It is the
is
spiritual
the
successor.
Sailor Moon of our modern times.
It is truly. It's been going
Okay.
on for 16, 17 years? 16
Probably.
years.
Yep.
It's
2004.
absolutely nuts. Crunchyroll has a few series on their backlog. They don't have them all, and they're holding back.
The current one that's running is Tropical Rouge Precure.
That one is so much fun. Tropicateru. I'm telling. We're recommending those shows to her. She's gonna love them. We promise.
All right,
I'm
King Daddy
pretty
comes.
certain.
We got to get back to this episode.
Koopa chokes out Cheatsy because he called him to King Daddy Comes.
And he goes,
Like, Bart, not
well,
me,
Cheatsy comes.
We're gonna do it together.
Because he's like, all right, Cheatsy, you brought this on yourself. You're in for the long haul.
We're here together.
Although Cheatsy doesn't really do anything for the rest of the episode.
So he fires up the Doom ship. He's just there to be a little sidekick.
Be the stooge.
So we cut to the Milli Vanilli concert, and they're actually voiced by Rob and Fab.
Oh my god.
It wasn't like the Baha Men where they grabbed sound-alikes.
You know, the first time I watched it, I'm like, wow, they got some really terrible impressionists to do this. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, they actually voiced them? That was them?
Yeah.
That was their
Oh my
voice.
God.
There's a In Living Color sketch about how terrible Millie Vanilli was. And they've just phoned it in.
Gosh. So at this concert, I believe I would be Mario and Luigi in this situation.
Yes, that's true. People are like, how many concerts have you been to? And I say 0 because
I don't like concerts.
maybe it's just because I've got an audio problem with really loud things, like if the TV's too loud or if a movie's too loud, but I have a problem with things that are too loud for me. So when you go to a concert that is just blaring, screaming, you can't even hear the song because
You can't even see them over the sweaty
can't even
people
see
around
them, and it's like this would just be miserable for me. If
I've
I were
never
to go-
seen so many tonsils in my life.
It would just be miserable for me. Bryce, have you ever been to a concert?
I've been to a few. A few, yeah. Nothing that I was like, yeah, totally, I want to go to that type of thing. I was kind of just dragged along to them.
Nothing
But,
where
like,
the concert is 100% screaming women.
Okay. Well, Bryce was there to even that out. It was 1% man.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
there's
was like,
2%
yeah, I
with
was
the
the
Mario
polar
Bros.
opposite.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Either way, yeah, I don't think I'll really go to a concert.
Alright, so the
I
first
prefer
song
musicals.
they sing is probably their most famous song.
It's the infamous one you had said earlier.
Blame it
on the rain. Ooh, yeah. Blame
it on the rain, more like blame it on King Koopa.
There are some fun faces in the crowd. There's this lady with green rave pants.
Oh
Oh my god.
That just reminds me
There's
of
the ladies with the really long necks.
Everyone's wearing glasses. We're all a bunch of nerds, bunch of housewives out to...
See, I
Millie Vanilli.
have a conspiracy theory about this.
Okay, you
Right.
think these are all the storyboarders and staff members?
No, my conspiracy theory is you didn't really get a good look at the crowd until after Toadstool caught that rose.
Okay.
So that rose was a power up for her. It made her look better than everybody else in the crowd, and
Okay.
everybody else has just had terrible animation or freakish faces. Because holy hell, did they have freakish
Their
faces? Some
hair's
of them.
going nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
It is wretched. Fear women.
Oh, it's awful.
So
They
yeah.
had like two women on the sides of the screen that had mouths that were like akin to Scream,
Oh my god.
like the
There
fucking
is-
Edward Munch.
This one lady, she's like pulling on her pigtails and just
Yes.
stopping in place. It's like, is this what I would be like if I went to a concert? If I go to if you
Is
went
this-
to an Owl City concert,
is this
Peach,
what
would
people
you just
act
be
like?
like, "Ah!" You just start bending out on all fours?
I mean, I like Owl City, but jeez.
Like just losing it.
It's like if I went to a Throne Controllers
Throne Controllers
Throne Controllers
Expo.
Expo, I was like, I don't think I'd go crazy, but I do like sugar.
I say that, but it reminds me of the one time, it was when I was on my Chicago trip in 8th grade. We went to a stand-up comedy place, and it was like my sense of humor had thrown up to 1 million. They would say
That's true.
anything, and I was laughing my
It's
head
something
off.
about the setting, like being in that situation. Like you're more inclined to get excited or like start
Laugh,
yelling.
gasp.
And they're like, "All right, everybody, give a yell," and you're like, "Wah!"
I guess it's like when they... It's not even like a fake crowd where you've posed...
where you pay people to
where
clap.
you pay people to clap and be happy. This is like, you just feel it in your soul when it comes out. And then I walked out of there and I was like, yeah, it wasn't half bad. And people around me were like, you went crazy, Delfino. You asked them to do a David Bowie impression and started crying when they did. I don't even know why I asked for David Bowie. I'm not even a David Bowie fan.
I don't know.
I guess that was a fine
Anyway,
size
thank
kick.
goodness for all of our sanity. King Koopa
Yes.
kidnaps Milli Vanilli and it becomes the shortest concert in existence.
Yes. So he also mentions here to blame it on the rain. Blame it on King Koopa. This line is censored in the DVD release. They cut it out
Really?
and it's just Koopa laughing. Where he's just moving his mouth
Oh my
to the
God.
music and goes, like, what the
It's because they wanted to cut out the song title.
Yes.
Wow, really?
But, they,
Yeah.
but
That
they
petty?
clipped the scene really weird, so like you still see his mouth moving.
Yeah, they're just not good at hiding their tracks.
Look, they had 5 seconds to replace all the audio when Milli Vanilli was outed.
Yeah, that's all they could do.
They wanted to do this for a cash grab. That's all they wanted it for. So I suppose there was
guess
no
so.
point in putting actual work into editing it, right?
So
They do throw in an ET joke when they get
oh,
kidnapped.
it was an ET joke because
Yeah.
one of the fans is going crazy and she starts crawling onto the stage. And I feel like IRL, a bouncer would like push them back. You know, security would stop
There's no
them, but-
security, they just got kidnapped.
But Rob is really nice and he wants to touch her hand, but he's picked up by this flying pizza. And you step on other people to get closer to what you want, truly a concert. And then there's like this electric touch. Psst.
Yeah, that's an ET
It's
joke.
E.T. I thought E.T. was like a light, not electricity.
I don't know.
I haven't watched E.T. We
a
watched
while.
some of E.T. in Spanish. That was fun. Watching it with subtitles. Like, well, we can kind of understand the movie, but the lady falls to the ground and is like, I'll never wash my hand again.
again.
Ah, it just makes me think
That's
of
nasty.
SpongeBob. Do you know the one episode with the balloon man where there's a dump truck man who's like starring and he's dirtying up everybody's hands and they're like, oh, I never want to wash it because it's gross and grimy. And then SpongeBob's like, hey there, want to shake this hand? And the bubble hand cleans it all up. And she's like, oh.
I just think of this really, really old YouTube poop.
Which one?
It was the Twilight Princess one.
Okay.
By Master Link X.
Okay.
You know, the ones I used to watch?
The I'll pee in you. Is it that guy or is it a different one?
Maybe. But they had a joke where it's like Link meets Zelda and like she touches his hand and he's like, I'll never wash again. And then it cuts to the clip of Link getting beaten up by the ogre guys. Oh, yeah, it's the bloopers.
Yes, it is the bloopers.
And then he's like laying in the pool and then he just goes, no!
No.
Poor Link.
Oh, Link. So, thankfully Mario catches her, but suddenly the concert just stops. And everyone's like, oh, God, without these fake posers, how are we going to continue the concert?
Like $100 for this? Jeez.
What are we going to do? And those people on stage are like, well, we could continue the concert, but
we're just
we
gonna
did out
save
ourselves,
face,
so
okay?
I guess we have to stop now.
All right, so we
Millie
cut
Vanilli's
back
been
to-
coop-napped, but first Mario hands over the lady he caught to the other lady, to another lady. It's like, it's your girlfriend now. So we're gonna warp on out of here. Let's
on outta
warp.
here. I thought he was going to say, let's boogie.
Nah, it says, let's warp.
Oh, well. So, Kootie Pie has changed into her clubbing attire, which is a tube skirt.
A little mini skirt.
It's very cute.
I think she looks great in it.
So now, Millie Vanilli have been cursed to the makeout dungeon.
Oh no! Also, they're like, this is Mondo Bizarro, and this is the
Oh my
second
God.
time we've heard Mondo Bizarro in the Super Show. Was this just lingo at the time?
I just can't get over their voices.
Badly misdirected lingo, more likely.
Ha ha ha. So funny, bro.
With no contents. We are terrible.
Oh no.
It is like Swords. It is truly. Maybe they hammed it up, but it
Did
is
they
very-
ham it up?
Or was it
this
just what they
sounded
were?
like? I don't know.
Because they were from France and Germany. It's just they're models from France and Germany. They're
Were
not
they trying
singers.
to sound like...
Were they trying to act as foreign as possible, like Schwarzenegger? Schwarzenegger's from Poland.
Who's the guy from the room?
Tommy
Here's the
Wiseau.
thing, is
Wiseau.
like,
Ha ha ha.
yeah,
Ha ha ha.
that is a good one. Ha 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 ha.
That's what they sound like. They're just so...
Yeah, it's just so it's extremely driven up, but you can also tell that they've never voice acted in their life.
They're
Like,
not
at
hired
all.
for this job. It is like when you grab
No.
singers for acting roles. I'm trying to think of when they've done that before. Because we were
they
just
do
talking
that.
about how John Cena is actually good, and so's The Rock.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
I mean, technically they've been acting.
Zendaya's good too, and she's a singer, I think.
Oh, Zendaya does everything.
She's a dancer. She's the whole package.
She is.
I can't think of any bad actors. Michael
Taylor
Jordan. Taylor Swift, is
Oh,
she?
Michael Jordan is the one. I guess that's
Yeah.
it.
What of a baseball player? I'm a best baseball
Bugs
player.
Bunny? This is whack.
I mean, while we're on top of that, the next line, I think it was pretty much like immediately after that, or was that? Actually, no, the Beatles line might have been the next one.
Oh, that comes
which was like-
later.
That's later.
But first,
Yeah.
Kootie
Oh,
Pie
okay, that's later.
Kootie Pie tells them that she really digs their dreadlocks. Just Kootie Pie does not understand romance. She's kissing them like crazy.
I
and
don't even
jumps
think
into
she
their
really knows who they
arms.
are. I think she just knows they're famous, and she's like, ooh, famous people in my house, yay!
Like, she is definitely not 16. Because a true 16-year-old pop star stan would be like that one girl from the Big City Greens episode where Cricket is a pop star. It's where he and his mom start touring and pretending that they're like a teen idol. And this one scary girl's like, I've been your fan for so long. And she's got like a shrine dedicated to him. And he's like, will you sign my arm? And he's like, I need to leave. And it's like, true creepy fans are not kiss kiss. It's like, I want to keep you here. I just want to look at you forever. That's true creepy fans.
Alright, so she tells them that if they do not play her a song, she'll turn them into the worst thing in existence.
Accountants! That's the good one.
Oh no, we've become nerds.
And she goes,
No, we are nerds. We are dweebs. This is terrible.
Turn us back right now.
So she's like, if you don't start singing, I'm gonna turn you into
Beatles. And they're like, whoa, great.
Who wants to be a band from the 60s?
What's with this Beatles shade?
They've made that joke before.
They have?
In the Princess We Shrunk the Marios episode, they make a Beatles joke. Because they find some Beatles that are the Beatles.
Those Beatles are the Beatles. Was this just the era of not liking the Beatles? Because I feel like we have spun back around into, the Beatles really weren't that great. It was just the era and the drugs that made them good.
I still like the
And I
Beatles.
was like, I don't know, I still like the Beatles. My favorite album is still White Album, with my least favorite song in it, Revolution number 9. It's the most useless song in existence.
My favorite song is the one that explains my life, which is I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. That's also in the White Album.
It's hard to stay awake.
My favorite fun song might be Nowhere Man, or just the Yellow Submarine album. Hey Bulldog, that's the song.
Oh, that one's good.
We're not sponsored by the Beatles, by the way, Nettie.
How will we be sponsored by the Beatles? There's only 2 left.
That's true, the Beatles are not sponsored by their estates. The
Who wants to be sponsored by a band from the 60s?
Oh, so drab. So she says she'll turn them into petunias, but all I could think was...
She says patooies.
Okay,
Petunias,
I
yeah.
thought she said petunias, but then I went back and I'm like, she said
okay,
patooies.
because
right?
I was like, it would have been
Yeah.
better to call them pansies. Hey, everybody, I'm a pansy. It's an inside joke. It's from a Barney disc where all the kids
They all
dress
turn
up
into
as
flowers and one of them is a pansy.
and they're very excited about being a pansy.
This poor little boy. So I was surprised by how well informed Mario was. He's like, we gotta go rescue Rob and Fab. So Rob said this, and I'm like, how does Mario know what their names were?
Yeah, their names, Rob, maybe I had to do a little research. Maybe Peach just told him. But Rob is the one in
While
the
he was
red
sitting
suit.
there in the concert, he's just reading the pamphlet.
Yeah, Rob is the one in the red, and Fab is the one in the purple.
Okay. I didn't know that much.
Okay.
Oh, but next we have my favorite scene, which acts as my icon for pretty much everything.
But before that, so one thing also, Toto's really upset because she's like, I'll never hear their music again if we don't save them. And it's like, they have records. They have vinyls.
It's not like they're gonna make any
They-
more songs after this is over.
They literally still have their voices. Like nothing about them has changed apart from the fact that they have a second
just
career
don't
now.
They
have
just,
handsome people
listen,
now.
they don't have that market appeal anymore because they're accountants. You can't
But it's
sell.
time to rock and roll.
And he puts on his glasses. Although before that, I do love how Luigi's like, we will go help the Mario. And then Mario pulls this face, so it's like, yes, Luigi,
duh,
of course we're going to help them. And he's like, we will. Yes, we will.
Yeah, we'll help them.
So,
So they put on their brilliant backup disguises.
reggae.
I don't know. It looks kind of like that one episode of... Oh,
Sonic
what's the one with the cool
Boom.
guy?
Cool.
Sakamoto desu ka?
Okay, Sakamoto.
Where they shave his friend, and so he takes a trash bag and he cuts it up to make like a makeshift hairdo.
Oh. Rastafari,
It looks
yo.
like that.
It's pretty accurate.
It is. It's like a really cheap wig where it's not even circular, it's just rectangles.
It doesn't even feel like hair. It's just
doesn't
plastic.
look like hair, but they're all dressed up. The only one that looks good is Toadstool. So they're the famous traveling band. Backups are we. What's up this Toys R Us joke?
I don't know. I love Kootie Pie's line here.
Oh, so she starts having a tantrum because they're like, we can't sing without the backup band. Very
Wink,
true,
wink.
because they can't. They're nothing without the real band. So she starts
How
throwing
did
a
they pretend-
tantrum and it's like, I want a backup band. And then Mario runs in and is like, hey, we heard you crying. We're a backup band. And she's like, oh, wow, this is the best. I'm getting good at tantrums. This is the bestest result I've ever had.
And then she like crosses her eyes and makes like a happy face, like, ah!
Oh, now we get to have the concert. So then Toadstool talks, so she talks Kootie Pie into turning them back into their
She's
beautiful
very good at
selves.
doing this. She's done it before.
She just knows how to
How to butter up Kootie Pie.
butter up kids.
Who are we gonna play with? These accountants?
They look like accountants. You know, we gotta do it. So then this is another song that was censored on the DVD release, which is a crying shame because
Girl, you know it's true.
it's a really, really bad version.
It's like the
Girl,
MIDI
You
version
Know.
of Girl, You Know It's True. Where they were just sitting on the keyboard.
Well, it's like they put in the notes, but they didn't change the instruments whatsoever. And then Millie Vanilli's like covering theirs, and they're like, oh, we gotta sing. Oh, I'm in love, girl.
It's just so funny because in the censored version, it's the same song that they were playing earlier, but now apparently it's bad, even though it's exactly the same song.
So it's just so fun that they're playing it really bad, and Kootie Pie's just like, oh yeah, this is what music is.
Far out!
So Koopa storms in, he's like, stop this awful noise!
And then Toad's like spinning a drumstick around, and then he accidentally drops it because he's a klutz.
Well, he flies it towards Koopa, and Koopa's just like,
No,
ah!
it hits like right in his mouth.
It's like a gator when you put a ruler between their mouth, and he's like, oh, I can't stand this. I'm out. It's like when you want to go stop the lawnmower or the weed whacker because it's being noisy, but then the grass attacks you, and you're like, I'm out. I can't take this. I don't trust this. No.
Oh, this scene is beautiful.
So no one can stand this backup band or Milli Vanilli singing. I think that was the real cause of trouble. Is that Milli Vanilli had to impromptu sing, and that's a
Whoops.
oopsie. So
Maybe it was actually they got Mario and Luigi to sing instead.
maybe I'm a love girl. Oh, it's our love girl. So then they effectively chase everybody out, and Kootie Pie is just having fun grooving. So they throw all their instruments down and they start running away. Toad almost runs into the wall. We have that DJ issue from the Street Fighter cartoon where I'll send the GIF, but it's that they have the character DJ from Street Fighter exit a door at an angle, and he exits the door at in his full size, but when he runs towards the camera, he suddenly shrinks and is really tiny. And it's like, oops, we didn't think about perspective much when we were doing this.
So the music abruptly stops, but Kootie Pie is still dancing.
Because she's just grooving. She's
And I
vibing.
love the way she stops. She goes, what? Hey, what?
Hey!
Huh?
This is my concert! I will tell you when it's over!
Daddy kids, my concert disappeared.
And if you don't bring it back, I'll scream! So scream! It's better than that other loud music.
So Koopa, who has been very absent this episode,
I guess he just didn't want to deal with this.
he just kidnapped the band and is like, all right, you got the band.
All right,
I'm going back
Kootie
to
Pie,
bed.
It's you do what you want.
It's my nap time.
So then she's like, if you don't get them, I'll bring them back myself!
And he's like, nope, 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 nope.
If you do that, you're going into
Nope,
the
sir.
dungeon. And when he picks her up, she just starts screaming. Ah! She's like, the dungeon?
Okay, I'll stop.
Okay, I'll stop. And she's like, the music was
So
too...
sudden, that line.
Okay, I'll promise.
Okay.
And it was just like, it was just too beautiful to last. And Koopa's got this face that's like, are you for real? You liked this.
You know, honestly, this episode is a lot like the Reptiles in the Rose Garden episode, but
Where he's had enough of
where it's
Kootie.
Koopa spoiling Kootie until she gets on his nerves.
And
And he's like, nope, stop pinching your brothers.
turn down the stereo. That horrible racket.
You're going to the dungeon.
But I really like it. And also the fact that the music is too beautiful to last, just like the real band, Millie Vanilli. Ba-dum-ching.
We've thrown so many pot shots at them.
Ba-dum-ching.
Poor Millie Vanilli.
I feel like we can make them, though, because they have both, indeed, they're both dead. It's not like making fun of somebody when they're alive, God rest their souls, but it's not like making fun of somebody when they're alive, and then they hear it, and they get really, like, irritated or
Then they send you
upset, and then they
a
send you
letter.
DMCA, takedown notices, and all
And
that
then you get
stuff.
the creator of Homestuck
And then the
emailing
creator
you.
of Homestuck doesn't watch your video, and he tells you how your video was wrong. It's just crazy. Anyway.
All right, we got to end off this episode with a hip dance. Woo!
Oh my gosh, their dance here is so weird.
Put our knees together and shake our hips.
And just take a ride. But I do like this cover of I'm in Love Girl. I was like,
I'm in love, girl.
I'm actually grooving. I'm in love, girl.
I mean, nothing beats that MIDI version of Girl You Know It's True, but...
Well, no, it's the same song.
It is?
Yeah.
Ah,
It was
I see.
the same song. It's the song called Girl You Know It's True.
Yeah, I've listened to like one Milli Vanilli song.
I'm gonna listen to Milli Vanilli after this. I actually liked that.
We're all
I'm in love.
professionals here.
We are indeed the Milli Vanilli professionals. So
We're professionals, like the people that animated Mario and Luigi moving in this
I feel
scene.
like the episode just kind of broke at the end. Because
Yeah, it did.
Because Toadstool's just like, oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. And she starts walking towards them. And Mario says, maybe if we keep our day job, we'll get this going. And they're just like,
They completely like die.
And then
it's
Peach
like they were
is just
robots
sitting there with like a
malfunctioning.
possessed look on her face, clapping. Like,
Oh my-
"Yay, the
That
episode's
that
over."
face.
her face
That is the goofiest happy face I've ever
love
seen.
I don't know. I think Kootie Pie's face earlier when she got good at tantrums was a little nuts.
It's very much just like the two derp eyes going inwards at an
I
angle.
drew a little picture of it.
But sorry, Mario, you'll only be a good band if you have the looks for it to be a faker. And unfortunately, Mario, you just can't pull in that posture good enough to solve this.
He's 4 foot tall, fat, and a plumber.
is.
He's got no chance.
Is he 4 feet tall? I feel like Mario's 5 feet.
No.
No? What, how
Mario is
He's
short.
very small.
Mario's small.
Going by game theory.
What's game theory logic say about it?
According to
I'm gonna-
game
I'm gonna
theory,
hit Google.
Wario is 9 feet tall. Just kidding.
They've discounted that.
Yes.
Okay, so...
According to Reddit or unofficial sources, what might be frightening is that Mario's average height is actually 5 foot 1 inch. Apparently,
I'm a little
So he's
taller
like-
than him.
He's like our mom's height.
Yes. I believe it. I believe
I
it.
could believe that.
I believe it. I guess that
Honestly.
makes... What does
Everybody
that
at
make
my work
Luigi?
is short.
Well, that's good. Everyone...
No, it's not good because
You can't reach the high
I can't
shelves.
reach the high shelves. I gotta like sit on the counter.
You're the tallest one.
I just start like throwing things on top of the shelves because I can't reach.
I don't know. Maybe it's better than at college. Everyone is taller than
5'9".
me. And their strides are so long that I have to like run to keep up with them.
You have to
and they're
run
like,
like Marvin the Martian.
I do. I just have to shuffle. And they're like, why do you keep it so long? And I'm like, you're just walking faster than me. I can't keep up. I'm so sad. But we have reached the end of our episode. So we usually pick a most valuable paisano, the character who has contributed the most to our enjoyment of the episode. Whether that be how much they did in the episode or how funny we thought they were. So, Peach. What's that?
Are we
We'll
starting
go
with me?
first. Yeah, we'll go first. So,
Okay.
who's your most valuable
I
paisano?
liked Princess Toadstool in this episode.
Okay.
Came up with the plan. She was wearing a great outfit.
She had some good lines.
She fully embraced Kootie Pie's thing with the accountants.
Yeah.
Who's gonna play these accountants?
Losers. No. Oh, and we're at odds, because my most valuable paisano was Kootie Pie.
Ooh.
I found her really funny. I
She
loved
was pretty
a lot
funny.
of her lines. her delivery. If you don't get them, I'll bring them back myself. Just a lot of her line delivery was really fun. This is the bestest results I've ever
Yeah,
had.
it was fun. I'm gonna stick with Toadstool, though.
Okay, Bryce, who is your most valuable paisano?
Look. All right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Millie Vanilli.
The two of them.
Listen. Okay. Perfect reasoning for this, right? Is that they were never equipped to do this,
No.
like at all. As we've discovered in the start of this episode, they couldn't even sing, let alone voice act, right? And that made the experience all that more enjoyable. It was just that little bit of extra spice and the, oh no, I'm German accent, I'm French accent, oh no. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Ja.
We're from Europe, make it very obvious. And that is the beauty of this episode without any question. The fact that I remember seeing it in the past, and back then I was like, yeah, that's just some fake made up bullshit. But apparently it wasn't.
Nope.
And now I'm even more impressed.
This is like
that
one of those things that's too crazy to make up. It feels like some aspects of history. It's like the military Russian sniper that toured with Eleanor Roosevelt. She's 25 and is like killed hundreds and thousands of people, and the person guy in the store is like, when I was 25, I think I plucked out all my eyebrows and dressed like Prince. Like, you don't do that. You don't think that this would be real, and yet it is real. They're real people. They were very real people who had a
so
legacy.
crazy to think.
They were real people that lived a crazy life and went out with a fizzle. It's like when you light a firecracker and instead of like exploding, it just kind of falls over and makes
like,
a weird
"Aw."
smoke.
And catches the bushes on fire.
I was thinking of that one episode of Fruits Basket where like they get like these little curly snake fireworks and it just kind of sits there and smokes all lame, and they're looking at it and they're like, well that was fun.
Is that when they go to the beach for the
Yeah,
summer?
when they're at the beach.
They're like, oh, this wasn't very enticing.
Well, it's like they're trying to be like,
Make a good
it was
sport about
great."
it.
Like, being a good sport about it. Like, oh, have fun.
It's not. Anyways, so we are done recounting the episode. Bryce, where can people listen to the House of Mario?
Well, I mean, you can find us on any major podcast service. If you need socials, we've also got Twitter. We've also got a community Discord, which you can find in the notes of any of our shows.
Yes.
So make sure you join that, because we can talk more about this subject. I swear to God.
we can talk
We will
more.
start the world's only Milli Vanilli fan club in 2021.
Are we even fans, or are we just stalkers?
Oh, we're fans of how stupid they are.
I guess so. I'll send you the In Living
Totally
Colors.
bogus.
I'll send you the In Living Colors sketch. It perfectly encapsulates them.
Oh my god.
But that'll do it for...
That would be such a fun drunk history about Millie Vanilli.
So, like, these two guys...
They were like,
Rob
"We're gonna
and Fab.
We're gonna do a band.
Yeah. You never knew what accent to do. I feel like
Let's say the French or German.
one day we will drink and do an episode of the podcast to recount it drunk history style. Just don't think about it.
Just don't think about it.
Don't look at that.
I'm gonna tell everybody.
And then Millie Vanilli did the nay-nay. Hey! And then Millie Vanilli died, but I don't think that's true. I think they're chilling with Tupac. Tupac came after them.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So you can
love
find
that
me,
drunk history.
Delfino, at delfinodurians.tumblr.com.
And you can find me at peachsupremeart.tumblr.com.
Yes, our outro music was composed by Taylor Lair. You can find their music at tlair.bandcamp.com. That's tlaire.bandcamp.com. Bryce.
I have a question for Bryce.
Oh, yeah.
Does this episode make you want to watch more of Super Mario Bros. 3?
I have a temptation to go back. I really do. I'll be honest. Like, here's the thing: is just like rewatching this. I'm like, holy crap! I remember some of these now, like a lot more vividly than I'd thought.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't think I'd watched as many episodes as I did, but I did, and
It's
I'm like,
just-
oh dear.
Watching the show is just a descent into madness.
I mean, no, we get to,
Yeah.
we go into insanity with Mario World.
Oh, Mario
That's
World is where it just tips into insanity.
pure madness.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We'll be calling you back when we go mad for Mario.
I'll be looking forward to it.
It'll be lots of fun.
We should get everybody for the Mama Luigi episode.
Every single person.
They should have like 10 people guest starring.
That is too many people.
We can't hear anything because everybody's laughing on top of each other.
We'll see
I
what
mean,
we
you
can
technically could. You could use Discord stages.
We could, but I don't want to
Yeah.
write any checks that our butts can't cash.
No, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna drink an entire bottle of bourbon.
We're gonna eat so much bourbon fudge that we get drunk.
Die from
Die from
Sugar coma.
diabetes before we get drunk. That's a true story. Our family has it's a family bourbon fudge recipe. Absolutely delicious. All other fudges are just nothing compared to our bourbon fudge. But I brought them to a party once, and the people there, I guess they were just trying to joke around with it. They're like, "Oh, I'm getting drunk from the bourbon in the bourbon fudge." And I tell this to Peach, and Peach then immediately retorts back, they would probably die of diabetes before they would get drunk. For the amount of sugar that you put in fudge. It's nuts.
Oh my god.
Bryce, do you have any questions for us?
What is the worst episode you've come up across so far?
So far, let's look into our catalog.
How many have we watched?
Well, we have hit the halfway point.
Oh, we
at this
have.
point. So, looking down.
Should I go get the list? Oh, I have it.
Oh, you
I
wrote
got
it. Well, that's of our total. So,
Hang on, let me go get the list.
I'd say maybe. Would you say it's okay? Well, you're gone, but I'd say maybe it's Totally Magical Adventure. That episode is not aired yet.
Magical
We're recording
Adventure.
this pretty in the future, but it's one where it's just like we're just miserable through the whole thing. It's like this is not fun. Would you toddler?
That's the one I have to
terror?
watch next.
The toddler one wasn't that great.
The one after this one is
We haven't watched it as of yet. It's the one that's next, I believe. Mushroomers.
is our least favorite.
I think that one's the least favorite. I don't
we
remember.
wrote this list down somewhere, but it disappeared.
Honestly, I think I'm
Look.
gonna have to remake my my
just the
ranking
full-
list after we watch all of them. I don't think the top 5 will change that much, which is why I've been saying the top 5 whenever we watch them. But I really liked Mighty Plumber.
Maybe Princess Toadstool for President's one of our least favorites.
Oh my god, why does that sound familiar?
It's one where
Oh, but I love the scene where Chi-Chi and Cookie are slapping each other.
oh, okay.
And then they try to murder Princess
Oh!
Toadstool with the landslide.
I know. Mind your mommy, Mario.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That would be.
I know that one.
That's our least favorite
Oh.
one so far.
I know that episode.
You do. It's the one with the mummy look-alike
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah, and it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
The Ugly Mermaid
I
also.
remember
That
It
one's
reminds me
coming
of
up
the
soon.
movie.
It's not that great.
It's not. It's got the so many views on YouTube, though.
I will say that the worst episodes are just ones that are boring.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
That's the worst crime a bad show can have, is being boring.
yeah.
Mhm.
If you're
It
just
can be as jank as this episode, but it was entertaining at the very least because
for
of how
some
stupid
reason,
it was.
everybody watches this one. It has 10 million views on YouTube.
Why?
It's the worst.
It's the worst episode.
I know.
It's probably because that was one that was the most aired. Because I feel like
Well, it's got
Like-
the most views on YouTube. The YouTube re-upload by Wild Brain has
Like, do
10
people think it's True Colors?
Is it the thumbnail
Well-
because it says mermaid? Is everybody trying to
Do
find
they
the
skip
mermaid?
the first part and watch the second one?
We don't have their analytics, so I guess we can't tell.
no, that's
hard to
true.
tell.
But like, I mean, in terms of vivid memories of this show, right? I don't have many of them, but I remember that one. I absolutely remember that one. So maybe it is just a case of like it was that terrible that it got stuck in people's heads.
I mean, I would think that True Colors would be the one. That one has 3 million views. But our favorite episode, Oh Brother, and its accompanying one, is at 1 million. What the heck?
I guess I just have to watch this that video 9 million more times in order to get it
know.
to be more popular.
That's like how much I've watched the Booties video. I swear, 10% of those views are from me.
everybody needs to watch Oh Brother. It's my favorite episode.
It is, we call it the best one. Just outright. It's the best Mario and Luigi
oh man,
based
I have not
episode.
looked at this list in a while. It's very dusty.
Ew. Whew. So, anyways, I guess this is time for us to say goodbye. We say Baizani Paisanis when we wish everybody off. Let's say it together. One, or I guess, do we want to say it together? Or,
Bryce can say it.
or do you want to say it alone, Bryce?
I mean, we can say it together.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Baizani
Baizani,
Paisanis.
Baizani.
Oh, that didn't record great. Whatever. Baizani.
We'll just figure it out.
Is fine.
Edit it in post.
Here, say it now, Bryce, and we'll do it better.
All right. Baizani Paisanis.
Hi, we're the famous traveling band called Backups Are We. Do you know of anyone who might need our services?
Wow, I must be getting good at tantrums. This is the